Welcome back to the Nate Diaries. If this is your first time here, please consider to like and subscribe. And don't forget to let your mind settle while you listen. If you want, drop a comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from tonight. Now get comfortable, dim the lights if you can, and let's begin. My name is Marcus Whitfield. For 9 years, I worked dispatch at a Chev's substation outside Roswell, New Mexico. The overnight shift, midnight to 8. The kind of hours where most nights nothing happens at all. I liked it that way. Slow nights meant coffee, paperwork, and the low hum of the radio in the background. This was one of those nights, right up until it wasn't. It was a clear October evening, no wind, the desert is still holding heat from the day even after dark. 3 deputies were out on patrol, spread across about 40 miles of open highway. Deputy Reyes had the southern stretch, Deputy David had the north end, and Deputy Bria, 12 years on the force, was working in the middle section, the quiet part of the country when nothing ever happened. Around 11:40, Reyes called in a routine check, nothing unusual, just checking in the way we all did every hour or so out of habit. I remember his voice was easy, a little bored even. Then he came back a few minutes later and his voice had changed. "There is a light out here," he said, "low over the desert, and it's not moving right." I asked him what he meant by that. There was a pause before he answered, longer than it should have taken. "It's not blinking, it's not going anywhere, it's just sitting there." I told him to keep an eye on it and report it back. He said he would. That was the last normal thing Ray said to me that night. About 2 minutes later, his transmission cut off, not a sudden drop, and no static, nothing dramatic. It sounded like he simply set the microphone down and stopped talking. I called his name 3 times. Nothing came back but a soft, steady hum on the line, even and calm, like a tone held on purpose. I want to pause here for a second, because I know how all of this sounds. I was the kind of person who rolled my eye at stories like this one. I want you to know that it changed for me gradually over the course of a single night, and I'm going to walk you through it exactly the way it happened. 2 minutes after Reyes went quiet, David called in from the north end of the county, 40 miles from where Reyes had been. He described the same thing, a light, low, not moving the way a light should have moved. Then his voice stopped too, in the same gentle, unhurried way, like someone had reached over and turned the volume down on him personally. That was when I checked the radar feed we shared with the regional airport. In a 50-mile radius, every aircraft return on the screen had disappeared except one. That one sat perfectly still, directly over the stretch of a highway between my 2 silent deputies, holding position in a way nothing with an engine holds position. Bria was the closest to it, about 6 miles out. I got her on the radio before she could go quiet like the others. "Bria, do you have a visual on anything?" The pause before she answered felt longer than any pause should. When her voice came back, it was low, careful, like she was speaking to someone standing right beside her instead of talking to me over the radio. She said, "It's not in the sky, it's on the road." I asked her to repeat that. Instead, I heard her engine accelerate hard, tires losing grip on the gravel, and then 3 seconds of a complete silence. No static, nothing at all, the kind of quiet that sounds like the air itself has been switched off. I sent every unit we had left toward her position. While we waited, something happened inside the substation that I still think about more than anything that happened out on that road. Every radio in the building, dispatch, the break room, even a little AM set one of the deputies kept for ball games turned on itself within the same second. Different channels, different frequencies, and every single one of them playing the exact same thing. A calm voice repeating a string of numbers that didn't match any coordinate format we used, evenly spaced over and over, and underneath it, so quiet you had to hold your breath to hear it. 3 soft taps, a pause, 3 more. I've asked the radio technicians since that night how a signal reaches unconnected receivers on different frequencies at the same volume in the same second. Every one of them has told me honestly it shouldn't be possible. Backup reached Bria Cruiser 11 minutes later. Engine still running, doors open, radio still playing that same loop of numbers into an empty seat. There was no sign of her anywhere along the road or the scrap around it. What they found, sitting in the middle of the highway, was a circle burnt into asphalt, about 20 feet wide, smooth and dark, like something had rested there long enough to press its heat straight down into the road. Reyes and David were found within an hour, both sitting in their cruisers right where they stopped, both conscious, both unable to account for close to 40 minutes each. Reyes kept saying the same thing to everyone who asked him what happened. He said, "I answered the question. I don't remember what it was, but I answered it." Bria walked out of the desert on her own almost 2 hours after she went quiet. 4 miles from her cruiser, moving in a direction that led away from town instead of toward it. She wasn't hurt. Her uniform wasn't torn, but she was carrying her radio handset in her hand, the same one that had been sitting inside her cruiser the entire time she was missing. And when it was checked, the battery was still in place, still working, and somehow still warm. She never gave a full account of those 2 hours, not that night, not in the official report, not even years later when I asked her privately. All she ever said every time was the same 6 words: "They already know my name." I never found out what those numbers meant, or what was resting in that circle on the road, or where Bria actually went during these 2 hours. Some nights, walking that same desk, I still hear 3 soft taps come through the static before I even touch the dial. And for a second, I just sit there and listen, waiting to see if it happens again. If this story kept you company tonight, let me know in the comments what you think that scored circle really was. And if you got a story of your own like this one, I'd like to hear it. I'll be back soon on another account, so get some rest and I'll see you next time.